Howdy friends, I'm posting my entry into the Mars Garage Rust Bucket Challenge. And this is the kit I chose. But first, I want to say a little something about Mars Garage. About 3 years ago, I stumbled on one of his videos and I was not in a good place. And it really inspired me. I've had a long career in automotive restoration, and I'm one of those guys that do pretty much everything. I do my own upholstery and paint and mechanics and machine work and you name it, and I've done it. And his video on rusting really inspired me, and it completely changed how I felt. I hadn't really got into the rat rod scene or anything. I was so used to making cars perfect. And it just, I don't know, it hit me very hard, and I completely changed how I built models at that time. I wanted to build models that told a story. I love the stories that go with antique cars, and it makes it worth it. In my shop, which was called Historic Sports Cars, I assembled the stories of the cars because they were very rare cars that I restored. They were Mercedes 300 SL Gullwings and Roadsters. I specialized in those. And there's a story even that goes on about how I got started in that. But maybe we'll save that for another time. I want to talk about Mars Garage. He also mentioned in that video, or one very near that time, about die-cast. And I completely got involved in customizing those. I had no idea that that hobby even existed. But I've done several of these gasser types. Very fun. Not much of a time commitment. You can order a lot of the wheels and stuff. Pretty cool. I really enjoy doing those. But let's talk about this kit for a second. 66 flareside. Why'd they call it a flareside? Well, at first they were called an odd side. That didn't seem like a good sales term. Chevrolet had step side already, so they chose flareside because it was an unusual side. The F100 was becoming a very popular model for Ford pickups, and this year it really took off. It had a couple different engine options, straight six, Y blocks, 352, 292, those engines, very good engines. A lot of low-end torque, not high RPM stuff, but good, solid, run a long time. So these trucks lasted in farm use for years, and you still see them out west in rust-free condition, pretty much. They're just baked. So this kit, I never had one of these, which is unusual because I've had a lot of vehicles, but I never had one of these. I had a 59 F100. It was a gasser build. That had a 292 in it. That was fun. That's still out in Arizona. But this kit, I build models very unusually. I always do the body first. And I had started this kit for my channel. It was going to be my shop truck, and it's still going to be, but it's going to be the Rust Bucket Challenge truck too. So I've already started on the body. First thing I do, get the body, get the chassis, and get the stance. What kind of stance do I want? Because that whole thing tells a story. And here we go. I also like to build dioramas, and I have done that since I was a kid. And I'll use garbage basically to make them. I don't care to spend money, really. I'm kind of cheap. So when I was a kid and got models, I used everything. I used the box, the sprue, the air inside, because that's all I had. And I'm still that way. So I'll definitely build a diorama along with it. I don't know what yet, but I do know. I just don't want to tell you yet. But I want to pay a little tribute to Mars Garage and what he does with this Rust Bucket Challenge. Last year I really wanted to do it, and I started a vehicle, but I never got back to it. Family issues. My older brother has cancer, and that kept me from going out to Arizona last winter. So we stayed in Michigan. That's where I am now. But this is going to be my build. I did some work on the chassis, and as you can see, it's got some rust on it. And is it a bucket or what? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. But wait a second. That rear end's on top of the frame? That's kind of strange. Yeah. Well, we had to do some figuring on that just to get the stance right. You can already tell it's going to be low. So, thanks to Mars Garage for having this Rust Bucket Challenge. I look forward to doing this build and seeing more of your guys' stuff. I'm really enjoying this YouTube thing. It's given me something positive to do, and the people I've met have been wonderful. So peace, everybody. We'll see you soon.